Every empire believes it's different until it's not. Rome thought its wealth would last forever. Britain thought the pound would rule the world. And today, America believes the same. But history whispers the same warning. Every empire falls into the same debt trap. The question is, what if the United States, the richest, most powerful nation in history, is next in line? Because right now, the numbers don't lie. America's debt is rising faster than its economy, and the same pattern that destroyed past empires is repeating, almost line by line. In this video, we'll uncover the ancient pattern behind every empire's collapse, how America is following it step by step, and what history says happens next. And here's the chilling part. You'll see that the end doesn't come with a bang, but with a balance sheet. Stick around, because once you understand this pattern, you'll never see global power or your own money the same way again. The pattern of collapse. What? The hidden cycle of empire wealth. Let's start with a question. How do empires rise? And why do they always fall the same way? Every empire follows a predictable 5-stage pattern. 1. Growth through innovation and discipline. 2. Expansion through war or trade. 3rd, peak prosperity, wealth everywhere. 4. Complacency and debt. 5. Collapse. It's like a financial version of aging. The more powerful the empire, the more it borrows to sustain that power. And when debt becomes easier than discipline, collapse becomes inevitable. Let's go back, way back, to where this cycle began. Rome. The first lesson. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was destroyed by its debt. The Roman Empire dominated the ancient world, stretching from Britain to Egypt. Its success came from productivity, agriculture, trade, and conquest. But maintaining an empire that massive required money. Soldiers had to be paid, roads built, wars funded. So, emperors began taking shortcuts, minting more coins with less silver. Think of it as ancient money printing. The silver denarius, once a symbol of power, became worth less each year. Inflation rose. Soldiers demanded higher pay. The economy slowed. And Rome's once proud currency became worthless. Sound familiar? It's like the ancient version of saying, "Don't worry, we'll just print more money." The result? Collapse. Not from enemies, but from within. Britain, the empire of credit. After Rome fell, the pattern went dormant for centuries until Britain revived it. The British Empire mastered something Rome couldn't, the art of credit. The Bank of England, founded in 1694, allowed the government to fund wars without having the cash up front. Debt became the fuel for global domination. Britain built factories, fleets, and colonies, all on borrowed money. For over 2 centuries, the sun never set on the British Empire. But behind that glory, something dark was growing, the same imbalance. 2 world wars later, the bills came due. Britain's debt exploded from 25% of GDP to over 250%. The pound collapsed, the empire fractured, and the world crowned a new financial leader, the United States. But as history shows, power built on debt never lasts forever. America, the debt empire. After World War II, America became the richest nation in history. It held 2/3 of the world's gold and produced half of global manufacturing. The dollar was declared the world's reserve currency. Every nation trusted it. But here's where the trap begins again. In the 1960s and 70s, America started spending more than it earned on wars, welfare, and expansion. Then in 1971, President Nixon made a decision that changed everything. He ended the gold standard, the last anchor holding the dollar to real value. From that moment, money was no longer backed by gold, only by trust. And like Rome debasing its coins, America began printing freely. Government spending skyrocketed. National debt grew from $400 billion in 1971 to over $34 trillion today. In just one generation, the United States went from the world's lender to the world's biggest borrower. You ever wonder why your grandparents could buy a house with one salary, but you need 2 jobs and a side hustle? That's not just inflation, that's decades of borrowing catching up. Winding up the modern trap, how? The invisible mechanism. Today, debt isn't just a policy, it's the system itself. The U.S. government borrows to pay interest on previous borrowing. The Federal Reserve prints money to buy that debt. Banks lend that money to consumers, who then borrow to buy homes, cars, and stocks. It's a financial loop built entirely on credit, not creation. And while it looks stable, it's not sustainable. The warning signs are clear: inflation hitting 40-year highs, interest payments alone crossing $1 trillion a year, and a generation drowning in personal debt. Every empire believes its currency is too strong to fail until people stop believing in it. Rome's silver, Britain's pound, America's dollar, all symbols of trust. until that trust runs out. And that's the real danger. Collapse doesn't happen when the money runs out. It happens when faith does. The coming consequence. So what happens when the trust fades? History gives us a chilling preview. Rome's currency collapse led to civil wars. Britain's debt led to decades of austerity and decline. America's debt bubble is still expanding. And for the first time in a century, the US dollar's dominance is being questioned. Nations like China, Russia, and Saudi Arabia are trading outside the dollar system. Central banks are quietly buying gold, not bonds. The world is preparing for something, a shift that could redefine power, trade, and wealth itself. The next empire might not be a nation, it might be a currency, greater than the digital yuan, the BRICS currency, or something entirely new. But make no mistake, the transition has already begun. What it means for you. So where does that leave you? The modern citizen caught in the middle? History teaches one powerful truth. You can't stop the cycle, but you can survive it. Those who see the shift coming and adapt thrive in the chaos, diversifying wealth, understanding debt, building assets that hold real value. These aren't just strategies, they're survival skills for the next era of money. Because in the end, empires fall, but opportunity never disappears. It just changes hands. The debt trap has swallowed every empire before, and America is walking the same path. The only question left is, how much time do we have? Now, if you have watched till now, click on your subscribe and like button right now to support and leave a comment below, because once you see what's coming next, you'll never look at money the same way again.